Now we are going to take into consideration the vegetative propagation, that is how do plants propagate vegetatively. The method of reproduction in which any part of the plant except for the sexually reproducing part, that is the flower, will not be involved. Okay. So, what plant parts are we left with? We are left with root, we are left with stem, and we are left with leaves. That is what we talk about when we consider a plant's structure, that it is having a shoot system, it is having a root system, and on that shoot system it bears flowers after some time. So, we are going to exclude the flowers. We are going to take into consideration those parts which are not flower, and they are root, they are stem and leaves, and we have certain examples of plants where the plants reproduce by using these particular parts of its body, that is root, stem and leaves, instead of using the flowers. So, that method is known as vegetative propagation, and we are going to see that how do plants propagate, that is give rise to a new plant by using the vegetative parts. Okay. Now, we have the examples given over here. First one is the root. Now, the root will form an adventitious bud. You know, root lies in the soil basically. So, we have adventitious buds which grow and the roots give rise to a new plant. Okay. You must have seen the example of banyan tree where we have prop roots which come out, alright. So, those prop roots are going to provide extra strength to the plant, and after some time the main stem could be replaced, or you can consider that the plant is expanding further and further, though it does not give rise to a new plant. But yeah, we see the live examples, that is why I have taken the example of this prop root thing. Now, these roots, they would form adventitious buds underground, and those buds, they would give rise to a new plant. That means a new plant with its own shoot system would emerge from the adventitious bud which is present underneath the soil, and we have the example of dahlia. Now, dahlia is a beautiful flower which you must find in gardens. In your own garden you can see it, that it is a large sized flower. And what happens is that a new plant can originate on itself because of the adventitious bud which is present in the soil, and that adventitious bud gives rise to a new plant, not the older one but a new plant. So, that is a method of vegetative propagation only. We have the example of the tree Populus, we have the example of asparagus, the sweet potato that we oftenly consume during winters, that is also a result of vegetative propagation. That means this sweet potato, which is edible part, which stores the food, apart from that it serves the purpose of giving rise to a new plant and hence vegetatively propagating the plant. Then we have a diverse group of underground stems. The stems which are present below the soil, and because they are present below the soil, what you see after some time is that a new plant is rising. We come across these terms in our junior classes as well. So, I am not putting much of emphasis on this. I am just making you recall what you have studied, and if you can remember a few examples within this class only, that would be enough for this topic. We have the example of suckers, we have the example of rhizomes, we have the example of corms, we have the example of bulb, we have the example of tubers. Starting with tubers, we know it is the example of potato that is best suited for this term. That potato has its eyes, from it gives rise to a new plant. Okay, it is an underground stem, it is a stem modification. We have the example of bulbs, very common example is garlic and onion. Alright, we have the example of corms, that is also a vegetable consumed, that is colocasia. Okay. We have example of ginger, turmeric, banana, they reproduce by rhizomes, and we have the example of suckers, in which we have the example of another beautiful flower, that is chrysanthemum. So all these examples you have to remember. I am going to repeat it. In case of suckers, you have to remember winter flower, that is chrysanthemum. Then we have, in case of rhizomes, simplest is banana. You know that banana is not having seeds. So how can it reproduce? It reproduces by rhizomes, formation of rhizomes underground. And then there is example of corms. Corms is colocasia and yam. You must have consumed it. It is a vegetable. Vernacularly, okay, leave that. Talking about bulbs, we have the example of garlic and onion, and tubers, best example is potato. So you can make it out that there are so many methods, especially in the case of stems. There are so many stems in different plants which help in propagation of the plant, okay, formation of new plants from the stem itself. It does not depend on that entire process of sexual reproduction. Instead, some part of the plant is specialized to give rise to the shoot and root system from there only. Then we have the example of creeping stems. Now, have you ever thought that how do grass spread out so much? It spreads out by creeping stems which are not underground, they are present above, and we have the example of runners. Okay, runners is one best example from which we can understand how creeping stems help in the vegetative propagation, that it gives rise to roots beneath into the soil and shoots above, and the example is grasses. Then we have the example of stolons. In stolons we have the example of strawberry. If you have, it has ever occurred to you that you have seen a strawberry plant, you just plant one plant and then it spreads out with the help of creeping stems which goes further, and then it produces a new plant, a root and shoot system after some time, and in that way the plant spreads out. Same is in the case of mint, same is in the case of jasmine. So we have runners as grass, best explained in that way. Stolons, the example is mint and strawberry, and in case of offsets, we often say that the water hyacinth or Ishonia, that is a water plant, it is terror of Bengal, if you have ever heard of. If you plant it in a water body, it is going to overtake, or I would say that it is going to hijack the surface of the entire plant body, and entirely it would be the water hyacinth that would have overtaken the water body. So that reproduces by offsets, that a stem is produced in all the directions, whatever direction is possible, and wherever the node comes, it is like this. Supposedly this is the plant, it is having leaves like this, these are the roots. Now the stem goes in this direction, wherever the node comes, roots and leaves would be formed over there. So you can make it out that this offset which is arising from the plant is giving rise to a new plant, and that is why the plant has an immense capability of giving rise to new plants thanks to this vegetative propagation method. Then we have the example of aerial shoots. Have you ever seen a cactus, how it reproduces? You might not have observed, never mind. Opuntia is one example where the aerial shoot, that is part of the shoot falls down and a new plant is formed. The shoot that has fallen from the main plant is going to give rise to a new plant there and then where it has fallen. Just like the example of budding that we do in animals, that a bud falls, nips off, it falls down and it gives rise to a new animal. But because we are talking about plants, that aerial shoot part will fall down, it would give rise to the root and shoot system of the respective plant. The other example is sugarcane. You take that part which is having the bud present in it, put it in the soil, and it would give rise to a new plant. So that is again a vegetative propagation method. Apart from these four, we have example of leaves. Leaves which act as, we have the example of leaves, and we have the example of bulbils. Apart from this, we have the example of turions as well. When I talk about turions, I am talking about water plants basically. It is Potamogeton which reproduces by this part. Now what are these? These are specialized leaves only or buds, okay. These two are buds. The leaves have got condensed, they have formed an adventitious bud in the stem system. We had the adventitious bud in the root system as well. Over here we are having bulbils and turions which are nothing but they are buds of shoot system. They fall down and they give rise to a new plant. plant. Okay, so this is what is in the case of bulbs and turins, and we know the example of bryophyllum since our childhood. If you observe a leaf of bryophyllum, you would find small adventitious buds growing on the leaf itself. They would fall down and a new plant would be formed from it. So these are the various methods of vegetative propagation that you have to remember. It is quite a simple topic that you have to remember. Only thing is that more you observe around you, the more easier it would be for you to remember.